Okay, happy week 7 and happy start to week 8. Happy's a funny word. I'd like to start by paying my condolences to the Beckham Jr. family. I know Jr.'s not part of their last name, but a joke. The fun thing about Odell is that he had one good game into the 2 years that I've had him, and I lost that week. He had like 1.5 good games. And now he's hurt forever, which is fun. Till next season, which, I mean, it's great. I love it. If someone wants him for absurdly cheap, just shoot me an offer. I'm not talking like a third here. Excuse me, that's stupid. Yeah, come get me on my tilt. CD Lamb died after one carry for 1 yard. That's good. The Cowboys need to trade for Fitzpatrick to save the Cowboys receivers because this was like the best offense to be a part of. Like you just wanted a piece of it. Now it is terrible. One of the worst, some would say. This was one of my least favorite weeks of fantasy, except like the week I lost to Josh because Calvin Ridley got 0 points. That hurt. This hurt, and like I didn't even deserve to win. Like the win wouldn't have felt good. 88. I was second lowest scorer. Man, Austin would have beat 2 people this week. Good Lord. Not good for me and Josh right here. 2 teams that I assume we both assumed we were top 5. I think I'm bottom 1. That's where I'm at emotionally speaking. I mean, just so one player on my team scored over his projections. 1. Which is awesome. No complaints here. I almost traded Odell for Jalen Reagor. And I was like, this is a mistake. And then he ended up, it wasn't even like on the table for me in the end. He went with Logan. But I should have just pushed harder. I should have used my commissioner powers to block that. I'm going to start doing that, by the way. Just really making this league work for me. But yeah, come get Odell. Austin and Zach. Zach, the new high point scorer, 193.82. Did anyone not have a good week on his team? I guess you don't get to the top score. It's sad when Kittle's your biggest disappointment. This could have been crazier. This could have been like a 200 plus easily. Man, that's wild. Gurley, when you watch Gurley run, you're like, oh, that's the worst running back in the NFL. And somehow, just 2 touchdowns all the time. It's staggering. Austin is no longer a free win. Like, his team's still not, like, his running backs are rough. If Mixon stays out another week, which I think he will be, like, I'll see who plays Austin this week. But it's not a free win. Ayuk has been a wide receiver 2 every week the past 3 weeks. Debo's out again. Like, it's not what it used to be to play Austin. I'll say that. Rookies versus double stake. Rookies continuing not to catch a break. Double stake, dominant show of force. Sam's the only team really not Sam and Zach really not fazed by injuries. I guess Daniel and Josh not. Oh, Josh has actually been hit. He had Eckler and he traded him, and now Carson's hurt. But Sam's team just healthy, crazy. Daniel and Josh, this was a 50-50 for a while, but Josh kind of suffered from that same thing as me. Just outrageous underperforming. He's so reliant on the Chiefs. And that game, the defense did too much. Same thing with Clyde. Like, the offense couldn't score because the defense was scoring, which kind of sucked. And now we have Joey, who started his rebuild and then put up 161, which, I mean, Tyler Lockett putting up 45 makes that extremely possible. But Gibson kind of seems to have broken out. 20 carries. That's solid. Jerry Jeudy, not good. But he got a haul for that CMC. I think that was a good move for him in the long run. Cameron continuing to be the most unlucky team in this league. Did he only have 93 points? Wow. So he's kind of in the same boat as me and Josh, give or take. Keelan Cole, Hunter Henry, Robert Woods, Zeke. Zeke 5. Jeez. So a lot of people had bad weeks this week. This is making me feel a little better. It just seems like a weird week for the NFL unless you were Sam, Joey, or Zach. Man, Zach is a problem. Nobody, I think, was worried about his team coming into this league. And, like, even on paper, you're like, Gurley and Connor, yeah, they're solid. But, like, they're top 12 backs because there's only, like, 14 running backs. Rojo's the running back 11. That's how bad running back is. And then you got James Robinson for free, which is just the most infuriating thing in our whole league. Okay, let's look ahead to week 8 so I can stop being depressed. We have the Battle of the Brothers. We got me versus Joey. I'm going to write down my predictions this week, by the way. I have a Google Doc pulled up, and that way I can reflect on them. Man, I really want to win. I really need a win. And I have to start guys that have just not done well, which is so tilting. But Joey's got AP in the lineup. Deontay Johnson's a monster. That Steelers-Ravens, the game of the week outside of fantasy. I'm going to say I win. I need this. My team needs it. I'm going to write me down. I think so many of my guys have had bad weeks that, like, just statistically, they got to be in for a decent week. Aaron Jones should be back in full. Thursday night game should be a lot of scoring, 2 mediocre defenses. Actually, Panthers surprisingly not that mediocre. But yeah, I'm going with me. I'm going to finish up with Zach and Sam. That's the game of the week, so I'll come back to that at the end. We got Daniel and Lanza. Why is Lanza projected so low? But he's got some bye weeks here. T. Higgins has been quite the surprise. Yeah, Chase Edmonds. Chase Edmonds is he's like the breakout, like the spend all your fab in season-long leagues. And he doesn't get to use them right away, which is kind of a bummer. I'm going to say Daniel wins this. Not ideal matchups, but I don't think Mixon's playing. I'm going to say Lanza gets the upset here. The projections have Lanza not winning, so that's why it's an upset in case you're wondering. Yeah, I think his team just does enough, and like Higgins will ball out maybe Juju balls out, DJ Moore, everybody balls out against Atlanta. That's a little hot takey. I understand that because Damian Harris is trash. We got Josh and Cameron. Let's see. Man, the Chiefs should be able to put up 1,000 points against the Jets, but that's also one of those things that just might not happen because people, like, they just don't try as hard because they know they'll win, so who knows. Le'Veon Bell's probably going to crush it, which is so upsetting. I think Josh wins this one. I like his matchups. I like Travis Fulgham. I really wish I had more fab at the time, and I would have gone all in on him. Good thing I spent $54 on Nyheim Hines, who I just dropped. That's fun. Okay, Austin and Logan. Oh, man. Logan is projected to lose? Jermichael Hasty, Boyd, Curtis Samuel. Wow. He's got bye week troubles, doesn't he? Drake's hurt. Man, I lost to this team. That's super dark. No offense to Logan. It just should not have happened. My team's bad, isn't it? Leonard Fournette against the Giants. He'll probably do some work. I think Gio's going to be in. Godwin's out, so Mike Evans could boom. A.J. Brown's just a tank. Yeah, I might go with Austin here. He might get his second win. Okay, and the matchup of the week. First and second place. Sam and Zach. All right. Zach's projected to win by 13, which is heavy. I think like if Dalvin Cook plays, that's huge for Sam. He's in the lineup right now. Gurley against Carolina, that's a good matchup. But Gurley's just so touchdown dependent. Like if he didn't score touchdowns, he's only scoring like 6 points a game. Hill could blow up. This is going to be interesting. DK had such a down week. I can't imagine that keeps up. Robbie could blow. Like, this is a good matchup. Man, Zach's got the depth, doesn't he? Taylor, Jefferson, Hawkinson in his flex. Sam's got Bell, Williams, and Jones. Like, Sam's top heavy, but Zach runs deep here. And he's got, like, bench players that would be people's top guys. Like, he's got Terry, J-Rob. Like, those are just chilling, not even in use. That's crazy. I hate you so much, Zach. Oh, man. I think Zach wins this. I think so. He's the worst. Worst person I know. Okay. I asked you guys to send me trade offers. And I was going to do a little preliminary rank of like who the worst offers are coming from, but I don't even have to rank them. Daniel's sending out the worst offers. We have the first one's from Logan. We have a Drake for Gibson, and I think this might have been before Gibson this week and after Drake had that big week. So like, I don't fault Logan for that. If I was him, I would see if I could do that. But Joey just traded CMC, so it looked like he was rebuilding. So that Drake is not a rebuild piece. He's a contender piece. He's nothing now. Lanza, after selling the farm proverbially for CMC, got offered Dobbins at a first, which is just less than he paid immediately, right off the bat. Just like, hey, I know you bought that thing for $10. May I buy it for $5? Not ideal. And then we have Dobbins and Shark for CMC. Also not great. And those guys have potential. They're just in a buy low window. Like, no one's going to pay up for guys that don't deserve to be paid up for. Like, they're buy lows right now, and I would hold them, but they're not buy up guys. And then this was Daniel offered Cameron, and then Cameron said he would for either Galladay, Zeke, or Thomas, for one of them, he would need Dobbins, a first, and Cup, which seems like a lot. I would say that's fair for Galladay. I'm actually kind of torn on this one. I kind of wish I hadn't put it in, because the more I look at it, that's kind of what you have to send to get Zeke. I wouldn't pay that for Thomas or Galladay, though. They're both 27, both hurt all year. I'm not a Cup fan, personally, but Dobbins and a 101 and Cup. Like Dobbins CMC or Dobbins JT and Cup. Yeah, that's actually, I'm going to delete that. Scratch it from the record. It sounded worse when I read it. It's not great, but I don't think it's pod-worthy. So Logan's been dethroned as the worst offerer. It's Daniel. And then I think through a little straw poll I did, Josh is second place. And it's more because he tries to throw in waiver guys and act like that's going to tip the scale. Which, if it works, hey, great strategy. It doesn't work. No one's going to throw in a third round or second rounder so they can get like a nobody that you're going to drop in 2 weeks. I admire the hustle, though. Logan's still holding on to that third. Sam, I would say, is probably the best person to trade with. Sam or Guile are pretty solid. Getting a Sam offer would be cool. I haven't gotten one yet, but like even his D-Hop offer, like 2 firsts, Mike Evans and Evan Ingram, that's like a lot for D-Hop. Like, Austin's team sucks now. I don't think D-Hop would have fixed it. And I think that's a good rebuild, like, for Austin. Daniel's the hardest to trade with because his value system is different. We've said this. Me and Zach trade a lot because we have very similar value systems. His system, his rankings are, if you're on my team, you are worth more. It's a simple system, and I admire it. Cam and Lanza are hard to trade with because, well, Cam traded with a non-Lanza trade, and it wasn't me, and I'm pretty pissed about that because you could have Odell right now and not me. Oh, boy. That tilted. I was so mad this last week because I felt like I lost CD too. That's how it felt. But someone come get Odell. He's cheap right now. I'll put Odell a first and a second for a player. Like, that's on the table here. So if you're like, I have this guy, don't send me old guys. I don't want like a 30-year-old, a 29, 28-year-old for Odell and a first and a second. Like, that's a pretty decent pay up. Send me something good. I don't even know what I would ballpark that in, but send me something good. Like, Odell is up in the air, but he's definitely not worthless. Like, he doesn't have no value. He's not going to take up a bench spot. Next year, he could go to a different team. Who knows? That's a little dice roll, but I'm willing to pay up for someone. If I lose this week, that offer's off the table, and I'm going to cry. Yeah, so I look forward to this week. I hope I win. I think Lanza, Josh, Austin, and Zach are going to win. Let's see how right I am next week. Continue to send me your worst trade offers. Any questions if you want me to, like, hey, make fun of this person's team? That's a question. I'll do that. I need content. Ellie couldn't be with me today because she's napping and very disrespectful. So yeah, please let me know. And continue to send me those bad trade offers. I enjoy looking at them. They're fun for me. All right, everybody. Have a blessed week 8. I hope the Falcons and Panthers game puts up 1,000,000 points. Have a good day.